Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. Hope each and every single one of you are doing well. Thomas Partey is on the verge of leaving Arsenal. Arsenal have agreed a price for Benjamin Sesko, and Darwin Nunez' future at Liverpool has big question marks. Make sure you go down if you're enjoying the content. Drop a like on the video. Trying to cover as much transfer stories of all the big clubs as we can. So far, it seems to be Arsenal are the only club that seem to be busy so far in the window. Make sure you do subscribe. We're less than 70 subscribers away from 7K, which is absolutely insane. We're going to start with Darwin Nunez. We'll come to Arsenal a little bit later, speaking about Partey and Benjamin Sesko's price tag apparently has been agreed. Darwin Nunez is an interesting one for me because he joined from Portugal. Massive price tag, 80, 90 million euros. Has fairly good numbers in a Liverpool shirt. They're not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but they're definitely not bad numbers. Now, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, he deletes all his social media. Keeps the accounts active, but deletes all the posts, deletes all the, the pictures on Instagram that were Liverpool related, which is even more weird as he left all the Uruguayan ones up. And it looked like he fell out with Jurgen Klopp. We saw Mohamed Salah on the touchline nearly throwing fisticuffs with Jurgen Klopp. I'm not against that. I like to see emotion on the touchline. I like to see the players actually show that they had the grit and the determination, actually show that they care to a degree. They're not just playing for, just to get paid. And Darwin Nunez, now he's being linked to the move away to Liverpool. The question on everyone's kind of mind is he good enough to lead the line in a Liverpool shirt as their out-and-out number 9? You've also got big question marks about Mohamed Salah. Is he going to be going to Saudi Arabia? Is he still going to be in a Liverpool shirt next season? Darwin Nunez's numbers last season, 36 games in the league, 19 goal contributions in the Premier League, which is not bad at all in a Liverpool shirt. 4 goals in 8 games in the Champions League in a Liverpool shirt, 33 goals and 17 assists, 50 goal contributions in 96. So across all competition, you're looking at roughly 1 goal contribution every 2 games on average. Didn't have a bad season, but because he's missed a lot of chances, we all know that Darwin Nunez is a bit of a dog. We know he's an animal. We know he runs down the channels. He does not stop working. But you're never going to get a Darwin Nunez of a 25, 27 goal a season player in the Premier League because he's not a clinical finisher. He's not a Harry Kane. He's not an Erling Haaland. He's not an Alan Shearer. He's not a Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's not a Robin van Persie. But I think it's a little bit harsh the way that the fans have kind of treated Darwin Nunez. 50 goal contributions in 96. He's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. 31 goal contributions in 65 in the Premier League. In the Europa League for Liverpool, he's got 5 goals, 1 assist in 10 games. I don't think he's got 138 goal contributions in 235 games across his career. He can play the number 9. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. He's very versatile in terms of the role that you are asking him to do. He can hold the ball up. He can run the channels. He gets stuck in on his opposition's players. He's a workhorse. So to potentially get rid of him, I mean, what is he? 24 years of age, valued at 70 million euros according to Transfer Market. Contract expires June 30th, 2028. He's only been at Liverpool the end of this season now would have marked his second full season in a Liverpool shirt. He's won a League Cup. He's won a Charity Shield. They should have won more, in my opinion. They won the FA Cup last season. The season before he was there. He should have probably won another 1 or 2 trophies at least, but unfortunately, life doesn't go the way you plan. But I don't think Liverpool should get rid of him. I think they should give him 1 more year. There's too much uncertainty about what is, Arne Slot's system going to be. How is he going to fit into that system? With Mohamed Salah potentially going, as well as Diaz being linked to the move away. You got Cody Gakpo. There's positions there. There's a lot of competition. I think he's a good player. I think he can contribute, to a Liverpool team winning silverware. And there's a lot of reports around Arsenal. We're going to start with Thomas Partey. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out today and he has said that the likelihood is that Thomas Partey will be leaving Arsenal, this window. Thomas Partey now, what is he, 29, 30 years of age, been at Arsenal a few years now, being linked to the move away. I think it's the right decision for Thomas Partey to leave Arsenal. I think it's the right time. Thomas Partey had been there a few years. Thomas Partey will leave Arsenal. This is what Fabrizio Romano said via JD Football. Now there's a good chance they will bring in a new midfielder. They're being linked with a number of players, but I think Timber could be the backup or potentially play a role in midfield next season. I think you could quite easily see Arsenal bring in a fullback and potentially have that fullback or Zinchenko as the left-sided defender on the of a back four in the left-back area. And you've got Jorginho that can play there. You've got Declan Rice who can play there. We know Declan Rice has been absolutely fantastic in the advanced 8 role. But there is potentially, for a squad depth area, Timber could potentially play there. Timber, for me, next season will be a massive addition to Arsenal. Of course, he only played, 1 or 2 games. I think he played 2 Premier League games this season, can play anywhere across the back four, can play in midfield. He's a young, talented player who has got a very, very, very bright future at Arsenal. But the question is, if they're going to bring in an out-and-out DM, you're looking at an Edison from an Atalanta. Are you looking at a Zubimendi from Real Sociedad? Do you want someone to play the anchor role who could really sit in front of that back 2 centre-backs, let the forwards go front and kind of protect you? Or do you want a ball-playing defensive midfielder? It all depends on what Arsenal want. I watched Atalanta the other day. And when we talk about individual brilliance from Lookman, when we talk about a team performance from the likes of Zappacosta, Scamacca, Edison, they really were brilliant from minute 1 to minute 90. And everyone knew their individual role in that team. And I looked at Edison and thought, you know what? Edison potentially could be in the Premier League next season. And I look at him right now, 24 years of age, valued at 30 million euros, 6 goals, 1 assist in 35 games. Can play defensive midfield, can play central midfield, and can play attacking midfield. Predominant position is the DM role. Contract expires June 30th, 2027. He is very, very, very good and genuinely could be a fantastic addition to Arsenal at the right price, or to anyone. Tottenham, my club, have been heavily linked to him. I wasn't too keen at first. Now I've watched him kind of develop. We've watched Gasperini. He's a bit of an old fox. We've watched him bring through some of these players. Like Zappacosta was finished a couple of years ago. Now he's just won a Europa League. Edison looks a fantastic player and could be a great addition. If you've got Edison, Jorginho, and Timber battling out for that DM role, you've got Declan Rice and Havertz who can play the 8 role as well as Smith Rowe. And you've got Odegaard who can play the 10. You've got Trossard, Martinelli, Saka. It will just depend on who they bring in that number 9 role. If Arsenal go out and bring in an Edison and, let's say, an Alexander Isak, if they break the bank for an Alexander Isak, genuinely next season, they could be frightening. They could be frightening. I don't want to say they could be scary, but, you're looking at them right now. They're 2 points off of this season, off of being Premier League champions. They are in unbelievable form. They lost 2 of their last 14 games or whatever it was. They go into next season. They've got to go again. They have to keep on building. And players like Edison and Alexander Isak close the gap. Someone else, Benjamin Sesko, apparently a fee for his departure has been agreed that RB Leipzig would be looking in the region of £56 million. Now, very, very raw talent, 20 years of age, Slovenian international, valued at 40 million euros, according to Transfer Market. 14 goals and 2 assists in 31 games, 11 goals in 28 caps for Slovenia. Is an absolute machine up front. Of course, it's not just Arsenal that are interested. Al Hilal, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Liverpool are looking at him. Only can really play in the number 9 role. Contributed to 21% of RB Leipzig's goal contributions this season. 2 goals in 8 in the Champions League, 2 goals in 2 games in the DFB Pokal, and had 1 appearance in the Super Cup, which they did beat Bayern Munich in a 3-0 win from a Dani Olmo hat-trick. Now, is he the guy to lead Arsenal back to the glory? Potentially. But if they are going to sign Benjamin Sesko, if they're going to sign him, they need to bring in another forward as well. I think when you look at the likes of Ollie Watkins, when you look at Tony, when you look at Alexander Isak, they've kind of already got the Premier League kind of respect in terms of they've all scored 20 plus goals in the Premier League the last few seasons. They've all got in their own individual brilliance. You know, Tony's great at hold-up play and elite finisher. Dominic Solanke as well, another one's being linked. He's very, very good as well. 19 goals. Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins can play anywhere along the front line, runs the channels, is a workhorse, good player. And then you got the one that stands out for me, the Alexander Isak, the closest thing to the perfect number 9 for me in world football right now at that age is Alexander Isak. An absolute gem. Genuinely. Last season, riddled of injuries. This season, 21 goals in 30 games with 2 assists, valued at 70 million euros. Top player, can play on the left, can play up front, scored in a friendly game the other day against Spurs, but Barcelona and the Bayern Munich are looking at him. He joined for around 70 million euros last 2 seasons ago from Real Sociedad. He genuinely could be the one that leads Arsenal back to the glory, or if he joins someone else, leads them to glory. He is a top player. Genuinely, for me, could be the difference maker when it comes to these one-off games. His record, people forget that he was actually at Borussia Dortmund as well on loan. And he joined from Borussia Dortmund to Real Sociedad. His numbers in a Newcastle shirt, he's got 35 goals and 5 assists, 40 goal contributions in 67 games. Just a top player. Already got 117 career goals. He's got 1 goal in 5 games in the Champions League, 3 goals in 14 games for Real Sociedad in the Europa League. But Arsenal are in a different predicament to what Newcastle, Real Sociedad, and Borussia Dortmund are and were, because right now they are going for a league title. For me, he's the one. If Arsenal are going to win the league next season, players like Ederson, getting Timber back into the 11, players like Alexander Isak, he is the one. If they're going to be serious and they want to win the league next season, he's the one. Let me know your thoughts down below if you haven't already. Make sure you do drop a like on the way and make sure you have subscribed to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.